hello everyone. Welcome again in my channel. It's me, Bernadette. So, for today's video, I will continue the second literature that will discuss as the materials and other facts about Chinese. And please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more updates of my videos. So, let's begin. I want to let you know first what is Chinese literature. And Chinese literature is the body of works written in Chinese, including lyric poetry, historical and didactic writing, drama, and various forms of fiction. The first Chinese literature materials that I will be discussing is the Water Margin. Water Margin by Shi Nai Ang was a Yuan and early Ming Dynasty Chinese writer. Xu Wei Chuang is among Chinese literatures was the first of the four classical novels to be published in the 14th century and established the common form and style that the others would follow. And the title has been translated in a variety of formats. And The Water Margin is all about the hilarious stories of common concerns against the leading leaders. And this story of outlaws rebel appeared with a widely brutality during the Ming Dynasty. Next, we have Confucianism. Confucianism was developed by Confucius, who believed that humans were essentially good and they only moved primarily to an absence rather of clear moral norm. So, people would constantly behave well if they were truly trained in how to build their personal moral standard and how to commit to that standard. Next is The Art of War. This is a book by Sun Tzu. The Art of War is a matter of life and death, a way that leads to either peace or devastation. It is accompanied by 5 constant factors. First is the moral law, second is the heaven, third is earth, and the fourth is the commander. And lastly, or the fifth one, is the method and discipline. Next is the Great Learning. The Great Learning is a guide for developing definition of self. Learning or the inquiry of things is the key to moral self-cultivation. According to the Great Learning, one begins to understand the fundamental in all factors through the study, which allows one to better comprehend the world. One's Li, or the principle, and Qi, or the psychophysical material, are in balance. As a result of this moral self-cultivation, resulting in consistent moral behavior. So, the Great Learning should be read first among the Confucian classics, according to Chu Ci, since the message included in the Great Learning will orient intellectuals to think about the significance or the importance of their studies. Next is the Analects. The Analects is a collection of concise lectures and dialogues with disciples written during spring and autumn period through the Three Kingdoms period. And the Analects encourage learning in the same way that the Great Learning did. So, the Analects is the state that the first step toward understanding the way is to commit oneself to learning. And the Analects is emphasize the significance or the importance of good governance, filial piety, the virtue, and ritual, in addition to the study. The Mencius. The Mencius is a collection of Mencius discussion with Conci. Mencius place a meaningful emphasis on the emperor's responsibilities to follow the way and execute good government. In addition, Mencius believes that all people are good by nature. So, when we witness a kid, for example, a kid balancing on the side of well, so we are automatically worried and compassion that implying everyone is essential good and moral. That is according to one of Mencius' most popular passage. And Mencius does, however, point out that everyone is rushing to save the child, and he implies that the idea is while we are all born with the seeds of righteousness and kindness, we must learn how to nourish and cultivate them. Next is the doctrine of mean. The doctrine of mean and maintaining perfect balance are the two examples of translation of the doctrine of the mean. And the doctrine of the mean is given to Confucius' grandson, Shi, and it is discusses how to achieve the perfect balance and harmony in one's life. The doctrine of the mean emphasizes on the following: the way and acting in accordance with that good and natural, but it is recognizes that humans do not always act appropriately. So the people are encouraged to participate in moral self-cultivation, to act right in order to correct the issues or the concerns. Furthermore, the doctrine of the mean emphasizes also that men are responsible for good government, and that rulers who maintain the balance are not only more effective, but also urge others to follow the way. Chinese literature grows over dynasties, and people such as Confucius have a significant influence on the country's literature. The Book of Documents. The Book of Documents is a collection of 58 chapters that describes ancient Chinese events. The early sage kings Yao and Shun's deeds are depicted in the Book of Documents. And the development of a sage insights is influenced by these stories. And the history of the Xia, Shang, and Chu dynasties are included in the collection. The Book of Documents is widely recognized as ancient Chinese first narrative history. So we have the Book of Changes. The Book of Changes has a forecasting system that is based mostly on the yin and yang concepts. The I Ching, or the classic of changes, is another name for the Book of Changes. Some forms of divination are still used today. Next is the Chinese Mandarin. Mandarin Chinese is the official language of mainland China through the end of the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644. Mandarin has become the language of the ruling class. Anyway, Ni Wei Shu Zhong Weng Ma. Do you speak Mandarin or Chinese? Also, don't forget the Chinese flag. China is officially known as Peoples of Republic China, and China has the largest population in the world. Their flag has a red background with a huge yellow five-pointed star and four smaller yellow pointed stars in the top hoist side corner that is organized in a vertical line toward in the middle of the flag. So the Chinese flag's blood color is red. Red color represents the communists of revolution. Okay, they are the Chinese literature and facts in China. I hope you are learned by this discussion. See you again in the last part of my video, which is the Indian literature. For now, 再见!